The Legend of Ruby Sunday has been out for almost a week at this point, and it's hard to review it just because, you know, it's part 1 and 2, and it very much is a part 1 and 2. That being said, I still want to talk about it a little bit, just to get my thoughts of it out as it is with just part 1, and I'll give it more of a proper review with Empire of Death once both of them are out, and I've watched both of them. And I'll also probably rewatch the whole season before that review as well, just to get all the context possible. Anyways, at least on its own, Legend of Ruby Sunday is phenomenal. I've thought through it plenty since I've watched it, but Russell really is the king of part 1s. His part 2s are a lot more hit or miss, but at least part 1-wise, he is an extremely solid track record, and I'd argue pretty much all the modern series, part 2 pales in comparison to the part 1 of the 2-parters. The only times where I like the part 2s more than the part 1s are in 3-parters, and even then, something like the Monk Trilogy, the first one's the best one. It's really only Face the Raven through Hellbent that I like Heaven Sent Part 2 the best, but even then, it's not officially a 3-parter, so does it really count? It's hard to say. Legend of Ruby Sunday, however, is phenomenal. Susan Twist has been great across the entire season, but here she really gets a chance to shine, is now she gets a full bunch of... She actually gets full screen time now. She's not just a glorified cameo, she's an actual character, and it's great to actually see her really take control of various scenes, and of course, Mel is always great to be back. I started really liking Mel when I rewatched the Trial of the Time Lords about a year ago now, and I was like, actually, I kind of like her, because initially, first reaction watching Classic Who, things like Time in the Ronnie with her never-ending screams are kind of what sticks in your mind, but that's just bad writing. Had nothing to do with Bonnie Langford, who's phenomenal in the role, and when you actually have interesting writing, Mel's an interesting character as well. So it's great to see Mel be transformed into a character that gets me really excited. This is also some of the best Kate's been. Kate felt really like a great leader of unit. She took charge, but also, of course, that one scene with when the doctor tells Ruby to go to the time window, and she's like, you don't ask, you don't question, you just do. It's great, because, well, she's obviously taking charge, and I think she does a great job of actually being the boss of unit, especially here. I think that really does show that she does value what the doctor says, first and foremost, which, let's be honest, all the humans really should, especially because the doctor time and time again proves himself as the person that's best to listen to in the room. The Sutekh reveal was also phenomenal. I love how in the beginning of the episode, he was like, oh, S-Triad, people notice? Well, that's not the right acronym. And they also, like, pointed out, like, her name's Susan Triad. The doctor's granddaughter is Susan. And I think the final thing I really want to say is, in regards to the positives, is the time window scene's great. Anyways, while I don't have any necessary complaints yet, I have worries. There is a lot of plot threads that are being dangled right now, and I don't see how an hour-long episode can satisfyingly resolve all of them. I don't think they are all going to be resolved. Who's Ruby's mother? I don't think Empire Death is going to tell us that. I think we're going to have to wait till Season 2, or Series 15, for that. Mrs. Flood, what's going on there? I think, obviously, there's something big going on there. I don't think that's going to be resolved. It's just a matter of how they're not resolved on how annoying it is. If there's a satisfying way to not reveal Ruby's mother, I hope that's how they do it instead of just being like, oh yeah, we're just not getting to that. Because that's what made the ending of Flux so bad, is there is so much that still needed done in the final episode, and the final episode did not do that. So that is my biggest worry for Empire of Death. There's just a lot going on. Is it all going to be satisfying? I worry, but even if I like Russell's Part 1s more most of the time, Doomsday I actually think I like more than Army of Ghosts. That is one that I think he did do Part 2 better. End of Time I don't care for either, but Part 2 is probably better. And even then, Parting of the Ways is great. It's just Bad Wolf is so phenomenal. And Journey's End is really good. Stolen Planet's just better. So I expect no matter what, the episode is going to at least be good. I've said where it is on my prediction. I'm not going to actually reveal where it actually is on my ranking, because I think it's unfair to rank what is very clearly just set up without seeing what it sets up. Anyways, the main reason I'm doing this mini review is so I can actually say where I predict Empire Death, and I predict that it is going to be just above The Legend of Ruby Sunday at number 3. My main reason I predicted it above Legend of Ruby Sunday is because the name Empire Death is just too cool. It's too cool to be a worse episode. So let's just hope it follows through on its really cool name and being better than The Legend of Ruby Sunday. Well, I guess we'll find out.